What's that? Yeah. All right. It's part two of season two of learning this godly ass fucking character. Um. All right. As I explained in the other video, opening people up so you could get a general idea of how they play, how they react to your moves, and what you can do to punish it, and how to bait them. I'm gonna give you a perfect example of how to understand this for if it was really hard to understand in my first video. I'm gonna use Morph for this because Morph is really good, and I have a really pretty perfect example with Morph. All right, now for those that actually play Morph, either seriously or for the hell of it, and you still know the general of the game, like you know how to bait options, how to space, all that shit. Perfect example. If you don't, doesn't matter. You understand what I mean by this. All right, Dancing Blade. This move right here. Let's say somebody shielded, right? You see them shield the first hit. If they shield the first and two hits, you do not want to go for the full combo. You don't want to do that. Because what's going to happen is they shield the first hit, the first and second hit, especially the second one. They might either sidestep, depending on what dancing blade you're doing. I mean, if you do this one, you might be pretty safe. But most likely, if they're going, they might either roll or roll behind you, especially roll behind you. A lot of people love to roll behind and punish you for your dancing blade. So you go for the full combo and they roll behind you after they block the second hit. They do this shit, you're open. Especially if you're doing this one. You do that. The last part where he's doing like fury slashes, you're going to be open for a hit. This is saying hit me. Wait, not that one. Hit me. You know, you do it from the back. So this is how you figure out, you know, how your opponent moves. Because if you want to get some damage off, you don't want to do this. And you know, they roll behind you and you're open. So what you do is, you know your character will morph and whatever, so you do this. If you think they're gonna roll behind you. You get a good idea, like you do this, right? And they block the second hit, roll behind you, you see that shit, like, really? Alright, I got you right now. 1, 2, do that. Or you could just go for 1, jump back fair. They're gonna roll into it. If you think they're going to sidestep, even though I don't know, they might run into this, so that move is not really good for sidestepping. But for some whatever odd reason, if you're scared, you think they're gonna hit, just do this, do that. If you think they're going to roll away from you, do that, catch them. Or you could do that and then just keep the pressure. They roll away, do that. They roll away, do that, chase them. This is how you do it, cause I'm pretty sure like a lot of people, like without paying attention, they'll do the full dancing blade, not paying attention that the opponent is shielding, and they get, you know, grabbed, they get punished out of block, you know, all that shit. You don't want that to happen. So in this case with Morph, you just do the first or 1, 2, do shit like that. 1, 2, you think they're gonna roll? Alright, I think I actually would have pair grabbed them like freaking trick. Think they're gonna roll? Do that. They're gonna stay in place? Do that. Do that. And then do the full combo. Once you see it connects. Your safe zone to punish side steps or rolls is most likely 1, 2. Do not go past 1, 2. Just do 1, 2, and then see like that. Or you think they're gonna jump? Just, you know, do that. Like the computer morph is doing. Could have hit him, but timing was up. But you get the idea. Stuff like that. That's to get a better idea and condition your opponent. And now, if you do that a lot, your opponent is gonna be like, all right, what the fuck? You're throwing them off. They won't know what to do. And most in cases like this, you can make educated guesses to get that good read and punish them. So, I mean, I don't know if that was the best explanation, but I think it was pretty good to, understand where I'm going with this. Alright, so with Peach has, like I explained before, opening all the spots. Let's say you fair, you do that. Shield pressuring, do shit like that. That's a one good shield pressure string. Another one, fair that, do that, do that. They block it. That's a good pressure string. Another one could be you down air they block the down air, you back air behind. They block that reverse jab. You can even start a jab pressure string like that too. Reverse jab, do shit like that. You know, when you're hitting somebody, especially you want to get a good idea of, you're afraid like, you might do a move, you're gonna leave yourself open. You don't want to try this and that out because you don't know, if they're gonna side step roll and you're open, shit like that. Do not, try to land strong hits. You have to condition your opponent to block and be scared of you. So that way you have a general idea of how they're gonna react, whether they're gonna try to jump out the shield and attack you, whether they're gonna sidestep roll. It helps you get a fuck. I don't know the right word for it. I say it helps you get a good idea how they play. So that way you know what moves to do and not do. And you have a greater chance of hitting with them instead of being in fear of doing something and it leaves yourself open. And either you let your opponent get away, you mess up the pressure, or you leave yourself open for a hit. So these pressure strings that I'm giving you, they'll help you out to understand, what your opponent's gonna do. That way you can come up with a better idea of how to plan stronger moves and get kills, knock your opponent off the stage, or even edge guarding. So one good pressure string is that. The reason I run back because if I figure my opponent's gonna roll, I mean not roll, sidestep, I try to fake them out. Because you do this, you might jab sometimes and wait for it. They might sidestep at the last part. So as a fake out, I'll do this and run back and jab. I mean run back and grab. Like fucked up. Oh, you can pivot grab too. But I like to do it because I don't know. It's a little. Sometimes throw people off. They don't know what the fuck is going on. Cause they might stay in place. Like they're too chicken, or they might sidestep. They don't want to risk anything, especially when you're on the offense. So fair jabbing once. Do that. Jab. Do that shit. But yeah, this is one good way to open somebody up. That jab. Fair jab down there. They block that. Down tilt. The little frame trap that's played earlier. Let's see what else you got. Space and neutral air jab. Do that. Another good pressure string. You can do that. Oh my god! Stop jumping, you mother. Yeah, I'm gonna beat the shit out of this kid. Alright, this motherfucker's countering me. But I'm just saying in general, somebody likes to be in the shield and they might try to push a button. These can lead to some frame trap where they push a button and you get your timing right. You don't mash it, you time everything that you do. So that way your attacks come out the quickest frame possible. You could mind games like that. When you run to somebody, you don't always have to attack. You don't always have to do that. You don't always have to jump at them. You can do this and fake them out. Because when your opponent sees you running towards them, they're going to be on the defense or get ready to counterattack. You want to bait that. They do that, you run to them, they might sidestep. So what you can do is that, open them up. Or that, they sidestep, they move into a free down tilt. Another way of pressure string is what was, damn, I had one in my head just now. I don't remember. Yeah, but you pretty much get it. Just do stuff like this. Even if you miss, you can go for a grab because you can miss attacks on purpose and they'll think they're safe. No, you're not. Be like, whiff a back air. Oh, I can hit her. No, you can't. It's a frame trap. She has a lot of frame traps. And she has her pressure game is really good because her forward air and her down air, they are safe on block. You can move before your opponent can. They can't do shit. You do that to a jab on their shield, they can't do nothing. Unless they have a freaking up B. And look, I got a Phantom Hit. But if you can get comfortable to baiting up Bs like freaking Meta Knights and Morph, like I do that shit all the time. Like I'll pressure them to get them comfortable to think I'm gonna keep doing it. And if they try to push a button, they're gonna get hit. So then when it started catch on, we're like, alright, I'm gonna get this bitch off me. I'm gonna just up B. So you start a few pressure strings, jab once or whatever, or just down air and then shield. They up B, it's a free hit for you. You don't have to be scared of characters that have invincibility of Bs. A good opponent, like if you're really good, your opponent, even if he's godlike, he'll be cautious about using LB because he knows smart players will bait that shit. So sometimes you can go out with your pressure string, but don't do it to a certain extent where it's like every time you go in, you're gonna pressure him with this and that or try to mind game him because they're just gonna wait for an up B. Condition them to get comfortable to a certain situation and then at random time switch it up. And then it'll be really difficult to read you and punish. And they'll leave themselves open. You can take a full advantage of that shit. So, yeah, stuff like this. You know, it's a good pressure string. That to that. That if they want to try to jump at you, which you're not getting past this shit. If you're able to down tilt and they block it, they try to chase you. No, it's not happening. You're not having that shit. You don't want any of that. They don't want any of that. This shit ain't happening. They're not going to hit you. Good spacing tool. So it's like it's a frame trap and at the same time it's a safe way to get out if they block a slow move. Like you don't want to get punished. You can like jab too, but like you down tilt right here, the jab is really not going to reach. See, it's not gonna reach. Let me hold on. Well, at where he dropped, let's say I down tilt, I'll probably be right here. Oh shit, the jab would actually reach. But in certain cases, like the down tilt might leave you open. I mean, the jab might leave you open because you're like right there. And like air attacks, they have more range. They hit over Peach's head and, you get hit. So a safe way is down tilt and then do this. Because it moves you back. So while they're coming in at you, you're moving away. And you're also throwing a long range move, which is hard to get by. So it's pretty much pressure. After that, a frame trap and a cover up. Cover yourself up when you're trying to get away and get space when you need to. So yeah, you pretty much have that. So yeah, this is basically it. If you utilize these tools like how to bait reactions, open your opponent up, you'll have a general idea of how they play and what moves to do. Even the best moves against that matchup might not work because of the way your opponent plays or how he evades or how he wants to run a lot. So you might have to resort to probably your worst options in that matchup, and that's how pretty much you beat your opponent. Cause let's say you do something against your opponent, I mean in that matchup that shuts down that character and they can't do shit about. The simple fact of how your opponent plays, or he might try to sidestep or evade a lot, you'll be missing those attacks and it'll leave you open, and that's how a lot of people lose. So you don't want that. So sometimes the best way to play that matchup might not always be the best because of your opponent, the person behind that controller. And especially if you got a general idea of the matchup, you know how to do it, and you have to resort to other things. Like it really shouldn't be that hard because you're now like you know how to do the matchup, and at the same time you know how to read your opponent. He's doing these simple ass things. You already know how to punish him and open him up. So that's pretty much it for this one. I don't think there's anything else on pressure string I can bring out. I mean, another good thing is you can fair, you can space a fair one thing and then run away and then do this if they want to chase you, or like sidestep or try to roll try to roll behind you because they think you're gonna go for a double jab or throw the turn up and they want to evade it. Do this. Oh man, I ain't cancel it. Do. Oh wow, doing it too slow. There you go. And do that. So the kid want to chase you. It's pretty much a get the fuck out move. Like if they block and you have a turn up, to throw a turn up, it takes about 6 frames. So you really don't have much of an option. I mean, you will have to jump and then Z drop, but that might take a while. So the best option for this is like space a fair on this shield if you have a turn up. They block it, auto cancel the fair, and then run back and do that. Even if the turnip doesn't heal, they doesn't move, you get space. They cannot approach you on the ground. They can't ground chase you. Anything, they will have to jump. And remember, you can move 7 frames before they can. 7 frames. So you space a fair and run away. Space a fair like this. Space it, run. You can't get punished. You're pretty much safe. Space it, I'm out. Space it, I'm out. Oh man, fucked it up. Space it, I'm out. Oh, I'm falling too early. That's why it's lagging. Space it, I'm out of here. You want to chase me? Do that. Space it, I'm out. Stop following me. Do that. So, cause I see a lot of people when they have a turn up, they go in or they fair and then they try to throw it, especially if they're this close. So what's gonna happen? It's gonna go through the opponent, and you're left open. Especially if you do this and you try to glide toss in, you're gonna go through your opponent. Look at that. You're gonna go through him. You don't want that. That's saying here, hit me. And then you might have to worry about doing this or rolling back. And if you're fighting a smart opponent that knows about that or has good reaction, you're gonna get punished. So that's why it's best not to like fair and do that. It's gonna happen. You're gonna go through them. Or if anything, fair and do that. That's probably the best thing you can do. You really want to stay inside your opponent, but you have to space the fair. Because let's see, if it's 7 frames, you can move before your opponent. To throw a turn up, it takes about 6 frames. So in a way, you're pretty safe. If they try to jump out and punish you, you're pretty safe. So this is the best method. But if for some reason you don't want to stay in and you want to mind fuck your opponent, just do that. Space affair, they block it, do that. And then you can just go in and have fun. Shit like that. Alright, so I don't know, I think I pretty much covered it up on how to open your opponent, ways to shield pressure, how to abuse their habits. If you guys have any questions that still might be confusing up to up to this video, Just message me, leave comments below. I'll gladly answer it the best way I can. Yeah. I think that's about it. I don't know what I'm gonna cover in the next lesson, which I'm probably just gonna make the video now. Uh, oh, I know what I'm gonna cover in the next lesson. How to keep the pressure on your opponent. I'm going to cover that up. So like, pretty much this video, the last two, you understood how to open your opponent up, how to bait, their evasive maneuvers, cause Peach forces that shit. You do good pressure, and they don't have an upbeat like Marth, Meta Knight, whatever. They have no choice but to either sidestep or roll, because your pressure game, they're going to get hit. They cannot counterattack that. So I'm going to teach you how to keep the pressure on your opponent. So until then, peace. Yeah.